Hello, parents and caregivers. Have you been missing us as much as we've missed you here at the library? We're going to make a series of short videos to help us keep connected and to make suggestions as how to enrich your children's early literacy experiences. Excuse me, I didn't need that page anymore. I'm going to start today with this first video discussing how to develop literacy skills in our very youngest patrons. Many studies have shown that a student's relationship with his or her teacher is a major determining factor in the child's educational success. Never forget that you are your child's first and most important teacher. Respond to your infant's first sounds by repeating these sounds back to him or her, then making new sounds for them to imitate. Talk often to your child, explaining what you're doing, naming objects, and singing. Make your home a language-rich environment. Provide play materials and experiences that encourage imagination. The American Academy of Pediatrics recommends no television for children younger than 2 years old. I know, this is very hard. I raised 3 boys and have 5 grandchildren, so I know the real world, but try really hard to limit your children's screen time. Did you know that at 18 months, most children learn a new word every 2 hours? Isn't that amazing? Just imagine how exciting all that learning must be. Why, I'm really proud of myself if I learn one new thing or one new word a day, let alone a new word every 2 hours. So you want to keep introducing new vocabulary words and experiences to your young children. All that talk about literacy, and we haven't even gotten to books. Infants first focus on faces and facial expressions. You can make a photo album of friends and relatives and show these pictures to your child and talk about the people. This is especially important if you've got relatives like grandparents that don't live close. You can keep your children connected to those family members. Next, you might be ready to introduce board books. Make this introduction to reading fun. Hold your child in your lap and make it a positive bonding experience. I remember how much I used to enjoy sitting in the rocking chair and cuddling my children and grandchildren and reading to them. So make it just a wonderful experience. And don't be discouraged if at first your child's attention span is short. It'll grow the longer you read to them. And let your child guide how long the reading experience should be. Don't force them. I've pulled some books that will be appropriate to use to introduce your child to young books. As I talked about earlier, children, babies, infants, toddlers, first attend to faces. And here at the library, we've got some wonderful books that have pictures of babies. They especially love babies' expressions and like to mimic the expressions they see. And the next good step are black and white books. Tana Hoban writes a lot of these because babies first attend to black and white, the difference, the contrast, they can see that. Your next books should be colorful with simple, bright pictures. And then experiences that they can relate to, such as I went walking. Everybody and your child have gone for a walk or a stroll. Let your child talk to you. You don't even have to read the print if you don't want to, but you can look at the pictures and let the child tell the story. Or let your child tell the story about what he or she saw the last time you went for a walk or even played in the backyard. Next, you're ready for books that have motion or movement. This is an excellent book. All children have seen trees, and this one introduces Tap the Magic Tree. And tap. Let the child tap the book, do what it says. Also, if you're a young child, you see them batting at the pages, don't be discouraged. They're trying to imitate you turning the pages, but they don't have the fine motor skills yet to turn the pages themselves, so they'll bat at it. but they're just trying to imitate you. And this is a wonderful book because every time you do something, the tree changes. And it's got wonderful words in it like give the tree a jiggle or whoosh comes the wind. Whoosh is a wonderful word, a new vocabulary word you can introduce. Another thing to start off is with singing and movement. Clap your hands. You know, if you're happy and you know it, stomp your feet. You know, I'm not going to sing to you. I won't subject you to my singing. I have a hard time with the tune of Happy Birthday. I'm sure every one of you can sing better than I can. But go through this book and stomping your feet, turning around. Let the child act out the words. Touching, hopping around, and they talk about different body parts. Jump up high. Let your child do those things. And you can change it. Again, don't be tied to the print. If you want to change it and introduce different body parts, head or shoulders or elbows or whatever, or different movements, go right ahead. Be creative. As long as you and your child are having an enjoyable experience with literature. Okay, these are some of these fun books that have movement in them. Snappy the Little Farmyard, your child will need to have some background knowledge of animals. Either been to a farm, read another book, seen pictures, real pictures of animals. And I love this one. Look at that rooster, how he pops out of there. And he says, cock-a-doodle-doo. Now this is a good book to start introducing awareness of print. And by awareness of print, I mean don't be tied to teaching your child ABCs at this age. Please don't. You just want them to know that the print is symbolic, that it stands for something, that you're reading it, and it means something, that the print has meaning. And a good way to introduce it is, you see how big that cock-a-doodle-doo is compared to the other print? Point out the difference and ask your child, do you think with the print that big and the rooster's mouth open that wide, is the rooster whispering or yelling cock-a-doodle-doo? How loud a cock-a-doodle-doo can you make for me? And then again, the horse, you see the neigh is soft, then it gets bigger and then bigger. Can you make your neigh soft and then middle voice and then your big outside voice? And the pig and the oink and the quack. Again, every one of them, small, middle, big. That's enough they need to know about print now. And another good introduction to print is this one. Big bug, little bug. Make sure your child knows what insects are before you start this book. Have you seen an insect? What's your favorite insect? What's an insect look like? And again, big bug. The print is big. Little bug. The print is little. And this one has stripes. And you look at the insect has stripes. The print has stripes. Spots. The insect has spots. The print has spots. There's another good way to develop vocabulary. Another good one here. Oh, this one is really good. You see how the underground goes down and you can make your voice go underground. And then this one, the print is above ground. See the difference? You can point out those differences in the print to your child without them having to know whether it's an A, a B, or a C. And black and white. Again, they can begin to attune to print. And I love the ending of this one, and your child will too, because it pops out at you. And that's so much fun. And children could read this book over and over and over again and squeal and be delighted every time you come to the end when it pops out at them. Okay, that's enough for today. Excuse me. Remember, reading is fun, and if your child sees you reading, you're setting a good example that can last an entire lifetime.